Hello, good afternoon everyone. This is teacher Arjay from Negros Oriental State University. So this afternoon we'll be able to discuss a new learning. But before that, stay calm because we have our opening prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Presence of our Heavenly Father, we praise and glorify your name. We thank you for this wonderful day and for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. Thank you for providing our needs and for giving us the chance to continue our study. Bless our teachers who inspire and guide us. And bless our beloved parents who work hard to support us. We are humbly asking for your guidance. As we begin our online class, help us to listen attentively and take away all disturbance around us. Send us the gift of knowledge and wisdom, so we may understand our lesson for today. Fill our hearts with joy, our minds with wisdom, and our class with abundant glory. We ask all of this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. So please stand by because we have our energizer for today. So may I request everyone to please open your camera to join with me. Everyone? Mr. Rafa, Miss Rafa, Januel Mar, Judy Ann, Ariel, Via Jane. May I request everyone to please open your camera. Hello?
Sir.
May I request everyone to please open your camera?
Naka-open ako sa camera, sir.
Yes, sir.
See it. Na-open na ba? Okay, please join with me because today is the day. Just wait for a while, class. I have a technical problem here. Just wait for a while. Oh my god, so here it is. What's wrong with this? I don't know how to recover. Okay, here. So please join with me. Everyone! Everyone, please open your camera and join with me. Go! my God, that's all. Thank you everyone for participating. And now, so did you enjoy the Energizer, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So for today, but before we start our discussion, let me check your attendance. Say present if I call your name. First, Via Jane Isola,
Present, sir.
Jervis Coley Madirazo. Isn't it Jervis or Jervis? How do you pronounce your name, Mr. Madirazo? Please turn on your microphone, Mr. Madirazo.
Jervis Cole.
Jervis Cole. Oh, nice meeting you, Jervis. And Rofa how do you pronounce your... Anilin Kalubag. Jan Wilmar Alog.
Present, sir.
Judy Ann Alabado.
Present, sir.
Oh, my former students in North Subayawan. Ariel Sichico.
Present, sir.
Thank you. And please open your camera for documentation. 1, 2, 3. Everyone. Jan Wilmar. Okay, thank you. So, but before we start our new discussion this afternoon, may I request everyone who can describe or who can recap what is our discussion last meeting. Miss Via Jane Isola.
Yes, sir. Kung our discussion last meeting, sir, it's about computers, sir. Then, when we say computers, we have a different types of computers. So, a computer is a device that transforms data into meaningful information. Then, it processes the input according to the set of instructions provided to it by the user and gives the desired output. And also, computers are of various types that they can be categorized into two ways on the basis of size and on the basis of data handling capabilities. So we have 5 different types of computers. First is supercomputer, mainframe computer, mini computer, workstation, and PC or personal computer, sir. That would be all.
Thank you, Via Jane Isola. How about the others? Mr. Jervis, do you have any idea what is our discussion last meeting?
Yes, computers, sir, are the things that we really need to use in our day-to-day, especially in our offices or at home, like what we're doing now that we are doing Google Meet. I think that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Madurazo. Via Jane, all your answer are correct. So meaning computers, these are the digital electronic machine that can be programmed to carry out sequence of arithmetic or logical operation. Computers can, what we call this, can read about binary form. So do you know what is binary form? These are the 1 and 0, meaning ang computer dili siya pwede mubasa siya og mga letters. Ang yan basahon ra ay katong mga only 1 and 0. That is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. So this afternoon, I will be able to guess the pictures. As you can see the screen, the first pictures. May I request everyone?
Full screen that.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Annalyn Kalubag, for the... Okay, first pictures. Who can identify the first pictures? Anyone? Anyone? Who can identify the pictures? Guess who I am? Miss Alabado?
I can't guess. So very difficult.
Okay.
Which one, sir? The
The entire pictures, just choose only one.
Okay, sir. Computer case, sir.
Um, hard drive.
Another?
graphics card.
Another? Everyone?
It's a computer hardware, sir.
Computer hardware. So let's find out of what will be discussed this afternoon. So our topic for, thank you everyone. So our topic this afternoon is all about computer system unit, parts and functions. By the way, this is Arjay and Jemina. So computer system unit, Mr. Jerbs Kole Madurazo, can you please read what is computer system unit?
Mom, sir, there's a technical problem in here. What do you put that
On
one?
your screen, sir.
Huh?
There's something wrong?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We cannot see the slide.
Mr. Jerb, have you seen my screen?
Yes, sir.
How about the others? Maybe you have a low connection, Miss Annalyn Kalubag. I think you are the upper city.
Kindly zoom in, sir. I can see.
Okay, just wait for a
Yeah,
while.
me
Okay,
too, sir. I cannot see clearly, sir. Can you please zoom in?
okay Mr. Jerb's computer system unit.
Okay, the computer system unit. The system unit is the box-like case that contains the electronic components of a computer.
So what is your understanding about computer system unit, Mr. Jerbs?
It's a box. All the peripheral devices are attached inside to it, and you can see the CPU, the hard drives, all the vital parts of the computer to work.
Yes, that's it, Mr. Jerbs. Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
did you know? These are the common computer misconceptions. So, in your own idea, Miss Via Jane Isola, what are the most common computer misconceptions? How about the others?
Again, sir.
In your own idea, what are the most common computer misconceptions?
Motherboard, sir.
Isn't it? Miss
Motherboard,
Juliana
sir.
Labado?
Yes, can I answer?
Yes, Mr.
I
Jerbs.
think
Yes, Juliana Labado. Just wait for a while, Mr. Jerbs.
Okay.
I think the most common misconceptions of computer is viruses.
How about another? Mr. Jerbs. Thank you, Miss Juliana Labado.
Usually, we identify desktop computers as the box, as the CPU, but the CPU is the chip one, which is attached into the motherboard. That's the CPU, but the whole box case should be called a system unit.
Thank you, Mr. Jerbs Collins. Oh yeah, that is the most common computer misconceptions. As you can see to the screen, computer parts buy and sell. Look at the person said, buying CPU pang gaming 7K budget, which means ang CPU it's not a system unit. Kaya sa iyang pagpasabot ana, system unit ang iyang pasabot, pero iyang i-post CPU. We all know that yes, I admit that. When I was in high school, when I was going to the internet cafe, I said, Kuya, paki-on sa CPU. Then I realized when I entered college, senior high, my teacher told me that that is not that is not CPU, that is system unit. Because the CPU is inside in the system unit, which means the CPU is the brain main of the computer. So that is the most common computer misconception. So another example here, buying CPU na nalagyan na lang ng video card, di ba? Very kuan kaayo ang ilang ipang-post diri, which means sayop jud siya. Next, dili siya makita. So yeah, ang iyang kong post diri is all about mupalit ko na siya og CPU. Ang iyang nang gibutang dito ang mga specs niya, which is wrong. Yes, guys, I know for the fact na most all of us sa kakaron nga these are the computer misconceptions nga CPU and system unit are different from each other, di ba? Di ba? Miss Julian Alabado, Miss Ria Jane Usola. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. And I hope that you will be able to understand what is the difference between CPU and computer system unit. Now, look at the pictures. Instead nga mopalit sila og system unit, ang ilang yatuan ang CPU, which is wrong, di ba? Kaya sa ato in our generations today, ay not all, pero ang kalagmitan sa ilang nabalaan is ang CPU is a system unit. Kinahanglan nato na siyang i-correct nga kanang sistema, it is a very wrong in a computer misconceptions. So today, we'll be able to discuss parts of a computer system. Mr. Yes, these are the 10 basic parts and functions of a computer system. Mr. Alok, can you please read the system fan and enumerate what is your understanding about this?
So system fan. So a system fan is located inside a computer attached to the front or back of the case. It helps bring cool air into and blow hot air out of the case. So there are available in a wide variety of sizes, but 80 mm and 20 and 200 mm are most common. So based on what I understood, system fan is the one who pulls down the system unit, because if the system unit works very well, so mag-init na sige ang system unit, so kailangan siya ang system fan para pagkinaon niya ang system unit.
Thank you, Mr. Alok. So, of course, ang system fan, in order para mabugnaw ang sulod dito, siya mo pabugnaw ang germs. Can you please differentiate about what is CPU? Germs,
Yes.
can you please read about what is CPU?
Okay, CPU, Central Processing Unit. Alternately referred to as a processor, a central processor, or a microprocessor. It is the central processing unit of the computer. It handles all instructions it receives from hardware and software running on a computer.
Yes, what is your understanding about these germs?
It's the brain of the entire computer, which it instructs what all components to coordinate in order to function, from the graphics card, memory card, to the hard drives, and to display an output on the monitor.
Thank you, Germs. Yes, CPU is the brain main of the computer. So meaning, siya mo'y gadala sa tanan. So, look at the pictures on the screen. What is the difference between the two? The CPU Ryzen and the Intel Core i9. Have you seen Ryzen CPU, Mr. John Walmart? So no one can answer. So I will be the one who.
Actually,
Okay, Jerv, do you have an idea about that too?
just a slight opinion, mostly for gaming, they prefer Ryzen, And I think for Intel, basically it usually uses for office works. That's what.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jerv. Yes, Ryzen and Intel Core i. When we say Ryzen, those are the CPU nga kusgan siya nga pang good for gaming na siya. Like, pananglitan, those people nga mga vlogger katong mga tig streaming. So, kinahanglan na siya o kanang mas higher capacity, so mugamit sila og Ryzen. So, katong mga, like, ang imong, like, for now, I'm just using Intel, pero dili siya katong higher jud siya nga latest nga Core i9. So I'm just using Intel Pentium or katong mas basic ra gani kay kung it's about Core 9, mas maglalat-lalat sila sa Ryzen. Pero much prefer ang Ryzen kay kung mogamit ka ana, once nga mo click ka sa imong computer, like store bas pas-pas ang iyang kuan sa imong computer. Muna siya kuan sa CPU. Thank you everyone. Next. RAM. Anyone? Miss Via Jane Solar?
Yes, sir.
Can you please
Can
read
you
what
please
is
repeat,
RAM?
sir?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
RAM or random access memory. It is alternatively referred to as a main memory or system memory. It is a hardware device that allows information to be stored and retrieved on a computer randomly. However, RAM is a volatile memory and requires power to keep the data accessible. If the computer is turned off, all data contained in RAM is lost.
What is your understanding, Miss Via Jane? What is RAM?
RAM, sir, is kanon siya may muhatag o na siya backup, sir, na panalit mo dalit kag mga like documents siya mo dili ka to nimo makita ra nimo to siya kay namay nakakuan nga RAM memory ato naka-save na siya ba.
Thank you, Miss Via Jane Sola. Yes, RAM, meaning this is a volatile memory. Meaning, if the data, if ma-turn off nimo ang imong computer, tanan nimong gipang save dito is mawala. Compare sa ROM or read-only memory. Meaning, pag maggamakag sa imong pananita, you're working, like you're doing an assignment sa imong computer, like gagama ka sa imong documents. So meaning, it requires power to keep all the data accessible. What if ma-brand out lang kalit? Ang katong imong ginama dito tanan is mawala. Muna iyang function sa RAM. Next is chases. Miss Judy Ann Alabado.
Yes, sir.
Please read and understand. Miss Alabado, are you there?
Wait for a while, sir. Chases, alternatively referred to as the computer case and sometimes referred to as the system unit or tower. The chases is the housing that helps protect and organize all the components that make up a desktop computer.
So, simple, chases. So, these are the housing sa imong kuan, di ba? Kung sa balay pa na, siya itong balay. Naatay mga components sa sulod sa balay. Just like the motherboard. Kung na yung motherboard alone, naapot siya chases sa gawas. Simple as that. These are to protect or organize all the components inside your system unit. So, do you have any clarification about chases? No. None. Okay. CPU color. Anyone? Mr. Jerbs? Ay, okay. May I recall Mr. Januel Malalo? Mr. Alob?
Yes, sir.
Can you please read what is CPU color?
So CPU cooler is also known as heatsink. It's a device that incorporates either a fan or some other means to keep hot components such as processor and cool down. So based on what I have understood on the CPU cooler, so ang CPU cooler is the one who cools down the CPU because the CPU, the function of the CPU is to process and execute data. So the more the CPU process data and execute programs, so in the CPU, so dapat na it to close down the CPU. That's also.
Thank you, Mr. John Welmar, for the very informative explanation. Yes, CPU color. So, basig nagkuhan mo, galibog mo kay the picture itself is pareha akong una sa system fan. So, system fan, nahira na siya sa CPU color kay ang system fan, tigpabugnaw na to for the entire nasulod sa system unit. While the CPU color, pananglitan ang imo ang CPU. Yes, CPU is the main brain of your computer. Naman na sa ilalom. So, in order para mas mubugnaw siya, kinahanglan na siya dito sa CPU color para tigpabugnaw siya dito kay kung uinit to siya dito, there was a tendency nga mag-lag ng imuhang system unit or imong computer kay connected man na siya. So muna yung trabaho niya, tigpabugnaw sa imuhang processor. That's it. Next, motherboard. So I will be the one who will read about motherboard. So motherboard or main board, this also known as MOBO, main circuit board, system board, or logic board. So, logic board on Apple computers. So, why this motherboard called as printed circuit board? Anyone? Yes, gitawag na siya printed circuit board. As you can see, tanan nga na inside the motherboard, katulad yung mga gagmay nga, look at the pictures. Katulad mga gagmay, naka-print na to siya tanan dito. Nga, kung unsay may kukuhan kay dito, mo generate na siya what we call this, to inform all the information. So meaning, kanang makita niyo mga gagmay nga pansakanan sa iyong RAM, naka-printed na siya, gagmay kay na siya, inanakakuha ng atong generation. So it is a foundation of a computer. Also, it allocates power and allows communication of the CPU, RAM, and all other components, hardware component. So nga naman ang kuan naman ang CPU, RAM, raman ang main ani nila. Kay ang CPU muna siya as what I said earlier, muna siya brain sa imuhang motherboard. So of course, that is a motherboard. Kita na po dagay tatanan sa motherboard.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Now, video card. So who among here can see about video card? Mr. Jerv, have you seen video card in your life or you have video card alone in your house?
Yes, I do have it, graphics card. I usually call it as graphics card, but some call it as video card. It depends on the gigabyte, I believe.
Yes, Jervs, can you please elaborate what is video card or own understanding?
Video card, especially for gamers that needs high graphics quality, you need to have higher graphics depending on the type of gaming. So usually gamers purchase this it's on the range and price and the gigabyte of the product.
Thank you, Jervs. Yes, that's it, correct. So, sakto itong gigunta ni Jervs nga, kung if gamer ka, so kinahanglan ang imong paliton nga video card, katong higher siya. Kay the more nga higher nga ang kuan sa iya ha, mas lami ang outcome sa imuhan, kuan sa imong gaming, sa imong kuan, like sa images and videos, di ba? Kung bati siya, low quality, katulad itong mga lower. So, muna siya kuan function sa video card. So, it deals with processing images and videos. Thank you. Next, power supply unit. Mr. John Wilmar Alo? Via Jane Sola?
Sir, Carlin.
Power supply unit.
So a PSU the PSU or the power supply unit. So alternatively known as the power supply. A power supply unit is a hardware component of a computer that supplies all components in a computer with power. The PSU converts a 110 to 115 or 220 to 230 volt o alternating current into a steady low voltage or the DC or the direct current usable by the computer and related by the number of watts it generates. So based on what I understood of the PSU or the power supply unit, so the PSU provides power to the computer. So if wala ang PSU, function pa ang computer. So dapat na ang PSU na para mo provide of power or to supply powers to the computer. That's all right.
Thank you, Mr. John Walmar Alov. Yes, PSU. Without power supply unit, your computer won't run, di ba? Siya, yung mga kuan po na siya. Yes, thank you, Mr. John Walmar Alov. Next, it is the ODD or the optical disk drive. Who want to read about ODD?
Yes, sir.
Yes, via Jenisola.
Optical disk drive. Alternatively referred to a disk drive. Optical media, optical storage, and optical disk drive is mainly as any media read using a laser assembly. Computers can read and write to CDs and DVDs using CD writer or DVD writer drive, and a Blu-ray is read with a Blu-ray drive.
So, yes, thank you, Miss Via Jenisola. So, familiar ba mo ani nga ODD? Mr. Jervis, familiar ka ani or not?
Before, we used this for reformatting because the USB type was just discovered probably 20 just now. This before we commonly use the optical disk drive to reprogram the computer.
Yes, that's it. Thank you,
And
Mr.
I believe now I think out they don't use anymore the optical media.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jervis. Yes, sa una, ang ODD, commonly kay siya gamiton, di ba? O like paralitan, mag-reformat tas ato ang kuan kanang computer. So, muna probably these are the common nga ginagamit optical disk drive. Like for example, mula na po taong mga kuan, mga movies, di ba kalagmitan ginagamit nila kanang Blu-ray, di ba katong Blu-ray drive kay mas murid siya. Unlike karon nga dili na siya magamit, pero I don't know sa uban nga system unit kung naa pa ba ning ODD karon kay instead sa ODD na naman po siya katong HDD, katong hard disk drive, di ba? So yes, that's ODD. Katong gingon ni Jerbs. That's it. Thank you, Jerbs. Next is SATA or Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. So serial ATA replace or these are the standard of choice for connecting storage device inside your computer. Meaning, katong SATA nga, pananglitan na kay HDD. So, ang HDD dito, automatic na siya, dapat siya i-connect dito through your HDD paingon sa imong computer. So, it can transmit data to and from the rest of your computer. So, pas-pas ang kakuanon sa SATA compare sa PATA device. That's it. HDD. Miss Juliana Labado, can you please read what is HDD?
HDD, also known as hard disk drive, alternatively referred to as hard drive. HD or HDD is non-volatile memory device that permanently stores and retrieves data on a computer. HDD reside in a drive bay connected to the motherboard using a SATA cable.
Yes, meaning HDD, these are the non-volatile memory. Unsa man tong volatile memory ganiha gani? Anyone?
Sir, ang answer ang HDD, sir.
Unsa ganitong volatile memory ganiya? Yes, we talk about HDD. HDD is non-volatile memory. What I'm asking is, unsa ganitong volatile memory? As I said a while ago.
Random access memory, sir.
Thank you, Miss Via Jen Isola, for listening. Yes, HDD is a non-volatile compared to the RAM. Meaning, ang RAM, volatile to siya. Once na mag-turn off ang imong computers, all the data was mawala siya compared to the HDD. Ang HDD, it's permanently stores. Bahalang ma-turn off pa na dira, ang imong ipang-save dito, naala dyan makita nimo sa HDD. And of course, ma-retrieve na nimo ang imong ipang-gama. So, HDD reside in the drive bay. So, meaning, isa nakakita na og system unit diri. Sa babaw, makita na dito ang hardest drive. So, as I said, ang HDD, connected na siya dito sa Serial Advanced Technology Attachment or the SATA. Now, yes. So, these are the parts of a new motherboard. So, as you can see, number 1 sa tungaan, that is the CPU socket. So, CPU socket, inside the CPU socket, di na natin makita ang anyone. Inside the CPU socket, di na natin makita ang
CPU man.
no, makita nato ang CPU. Inside the CPU socket sa babaw-babaw, makita nato ang CPU fan. Sa babaw ba siya, ipabungnaw siya. Cover na siyang CPU socket. Sa ilalong naabrihan para nimo, makita nimo tong CPU, the main brain of your computer. Kanang number 2, unsa man na siya? Yes, nara nila siya, motherboard diagram chipset. So all these motherboard diagram will be able to discuss next meeting. Now, yes. Kaya. Motherboard form and factor. So, the standard ETX. So, kinsa pa yung nakaabot ani nila? Standard ETX, micro ETX, mini ETX, nano ETX, pico ETX. So, sa pagkakaroon, we're just using a standard
Nano,
ETX.
sir?
Yes. From now on, we're just using a standard ETX. So, in the near future, muna na siya. Ang kana, kung saan na kana ko ang standard na motherboard, in the near future, because we are advanced in the technology, mura na siya kagamyon og ballpen na na, or kanang a piece of paper na na ang ato ang motherboard. So, yes. So, but before that, please do the screenshot or let's, yeah. So, that's the end of our new discussion, that's the end of our discussion this afternoon. And may I request everyone to please, yeah, these are our exam for this afternoon. So, everyone, give at least 10 basic parts and function of a system unit. Then give the acronym of the following: RAM, ODD, PSU, and SATA. I will attach the link that you will be sent your assignment, your quiz this afternoon. Go. I will give you 5 minutes to answer that. You may now start.
Were we going to send it, sir, in Google Classroom or in Moodle?
In the Google form, in the Google Classroom, I will send the link in the comment below. Are you done? Thank you. I will send the link. Okay, does it? These are the 10 basic parts and function of a system unit. System fan, yeah, that's it. I will be the one who check all your answer. So, for your assignment that will be discussed next meeting is, what is computer programming? What are the languages of a programming? Can you enumerate and explain the various types of errors that can occur during the execution of a computer program? Please do advanced reading because I will ask each of all of you. So, do you have any clarifications? Do you have any clarification? Do you have wants and questions, everyone?
None so far.
Thank you.
That's so far, sir.
I think that will be end our discussion this afternoon. So as what Albert Einstein once said, that imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited, where areas imagination embrace the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth of evolution. So thank you everyone, and I hope that everyone can understand what I'm talking about. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
None, sir.
None, sir.
Yes, thank you everyone. So but before we but before I will dismiss my class, may I request to open your camera for the documentation. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.